Yeah, yeah. Gosh, let's see, a quick version of it. I mean, it was, it was a fantastic experience. I was working with some of my closest friends, doing what I love to do, and we were documenting one of our friends in an experience that turned out to be a remarkable, life-changing experience, and something that, I don't know, kind of a story that I haven't seen told in documentary form. Okay. I mean, like, I haven't seen one yet, but you know, the idea of the sort of almost the rags to riches, the Cinderella story of someone, you know.
So he was the Cinderella, I guess.
Yes, yes. And I like to think of myself as his prince, but I'm not sure how his wife feels about that. No, but it was an amazing and fun experience. And then I'll admit I'm even happier with how it came out than
so I think it was a kind of surprise for you, wasn't it? The Nokia Film Festival, which was over there in Mumbai.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, just the fact that Three Idiots was the biggest Bollywood hit, or the largest Indian cinema hit in history. That was a surprise, and then the fact that Omi was so well received as his character Chatur Ramalingam. I mean, his speech became, you know, a catchphrase. He became a household name. He was apparently a portion of the speech was the most popular downloaded ringtone in India for a while. I mean, it was a complete surprise.
And we could also see this in the documentation when he was telling one or the other sentence from the Three Idiots that people just went crazy about this.
And they really do like the regurgitating of his role over and over again.
Yeah. And it seemed like that Omi was pretty sure about receiving the prizes, because like you filmed it, like you showed it, he was like well prepared, and from the beginning it was more or less sure when I saw the documentation that it's going to be a happy end.
Going to turn out well. You know, that was actually something difficult for us in our editing, because Omi is, I mean, he's, especially once we turned the camera on, he wanted to understate everything. He's like, you know, I'm in a movie and it's okay. It's like, it's not very good as far as a character goes. You know, we need someone to want something. We need someone with a little more desperation and a little more, I don't know, a little, and clearly he does, but he just tries to keep it cool. I mean, he tries to keep it down. Like, when something that insane is happening to you, I can understand not wanting to ever overstate yourself.
Yeah, that's I think one of the most difficult parts also, if you want to stay on the ground actually. And act normally.
So we, as filmmakers, definitely tried to highlight any suspense that was available, any doubt. Apparently, you didn't feel a whole lot of doubt in watching it. You were pretty sure he was going to be okay. And you know, that's something that's a challenge of a filmmaker. Try to emphasize an arc with high stakes and with suspense.
Yeah, and I think this was pretty good done in the documentation also.
Oh, well, thank you.
And it was also shown like that.
Cool.
So this was pretty well done.
Oh, I appreciate that. I think that's something that comes with being his friend. And so we can just get right, you know, up close with the camera. And, you know, in another circumstance, if you weren't so close with your subject matter, that would be, you know, a little more difficult.
That's true, yeah. You're 4 people or 4 friends?
There's myself, Kenny, Tyler, and Bill. If you want other full names, I can give it to you later. But yeah, we all grew up. I mean, you know, the exact family tree of our friendship is a little more complicated, but we all essentially grew up together. Kenny and I grew up as dear friends. Tyler and Bill grew up as dear friends. We got to know each other.
Somehow.
Yes, because we're all interested in traveling and documentary filmmaking and you know, and everything that comes with that sort of, with those sort of passions.
So coming to the point of traveling, I think you have traveled a lot.
Yeah.
What was your highlight?
You mean as far as places?
Yeah, of the various places, or your personal experience, personal highlight.
Nepal has been a really big favorite of mine. Kenny and I actually made a feature film in Nepal, a documentary, a few years before.
All right.
And Yeah, I've returned to that. I've returned there 4 times. It's.
So you really liked it?
I really like it. I have some good friends who live there.
Okay,
I've, gotten great relationships out of it, and then I'd say that just sort of led to my general interest in South Asian culture in general. And in fact, one of our friends from Nepal was one of the reasons Big in Bollywood got started.
Okay, well.
He just expressing his interest in Amir Khan. When Omi came back and told us, "Hey, I'm in this movie." I don't know. It might be kind of a big deal. And he was telling us. He said, "Yeah, this guy Amir Khan's in it. I don't know if you've heard of him. None of us had heard of him, but our friend Tosh, Amir Khan? Are you serious?" And it just that excitement was what sort of made us think, "Oh wait, this Three Idiots thing might be a big deal."
And it was.
And it was. Yeah.
It was a great movie.
Go through. Yeah, I really liked it.
You also watched it?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, I've seen it a few times.
You've seen it, yeah.
Originally, actually, we saw the premiere, and there were no English subtitles. So when we watched the premiere, we still didn't really understand it. I mean, of course, we didn't understand the plot.
Your Hindi was perfect.
That was perfect. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Oh, fluent in Hindi. Yeah.
Very nice.
No, I'm not. Oh, wow.
Two of your friends, Tyler and Kenny, you just mentioned them. So they went with Omi in college.
Yes.
And if you compare, or you know Omi since many years, or so if you compare the time Omi that time, let's say 10 years ago, he was in college.
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
And sure. If you compare him with now after doing the documentation after the Three Idiots, so do you see any changes in him?
Omi, in a way, I mean, Omi's been a professional actor for a while in Los Angeles. He was never very successful, or I shouldn't say that. He earned a living. He was a working actor, which in itself is an achievement. I mean, just to be able to say I earn all of my living from acting, that is an achievement. But he wasn't famous or anything like that. But he was always very business savvy. He was always had a good eye for story.
Okay.
He had a good eye for, he's also a very good director, and he's dabbled in writing too. I mean, there's a lot of things that he sort of in the storytelling world that he's into. And I gotta say, it hasn't really changed him that much. He's more busy.
Okay.
He's tired often, but to be honest, his sort of just the ability to deal with all of that sort of thing, it wasn't, it was sort of within his personality anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's a goofball, he's a regular guy, but like, I think...
Yeah, it also seems in the documentary, this was a good shot when you came back to LA again and he was like doing the housework, and
yes.
he was just telling, okay, I'm doing all the housework, and then his wife was coming out of the house. This is pretty funny, I think, also for the audience.
Cool, I'm glad you like that. Yeah.
And this was also showing like the naturality of him.
Yeah.
And also with the friends, with you guys.
Yeah.
And he was there, so this was a pretty good thing.
Yeah. I'm glad it worked out, because it's always touchy to put yourself in a documentary.
Of course.
It can be, we think we're very funny and charming, but we're not as funny and charming as we think we are, so we need to pull it back and keep it real and keep it about Omi. As long as the story was about Omi and we were accessories to him, then it continued to work.
And it worked out.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
How do you think his person is going to grow more into the Bollywood, or is he going to stay more in or he wants to go into Hollywood, the Hollywood film industry?
Well, I can say pretty sure, and I can't for sure speak for Omi, but ideally he would like to work in Hollywood more. I mean, his wife lives there, he has a home there, his friends are there, it's like that's where he grew up, that's home.
That's
that's sort of, I think, sort of one of the interesting twists or ironies of the story is that he's been working hard in Hollywood, and then it's sort of like if you make a wish, I want to be famous. Well, you got to be specific about that wish, because then that fame might come to you, but just in a different place than you had expected. He's continuing at the present moment, he's continuing to work